Now, in the next few lessons, we're going to be learning about something that's really powerful, and it's the command line. And a lot of people will tell you that you can only truly call yourself a developer if you know at least how to use the command line. Now, this depends on who you ask, but at the end of the day, it's a really powerful way of interacting with your computer without the need for a graphical user interface. And we're basically just issuing commands to the computer and getting it to do whatever it is that we want it to do. So in order to get started though, we're going to install the Hyper terminal. Now on a Mac, you already have a terminal application. But the reason why we're installing Hyper is because one, we're going to stay consistent between Windows and Mac users, but also Hyper is super customizable and you can check out a whole bunch of themes if you wanted to. And similar to Atom, it's got a whole bunch of plugins that you can put in, which customizes and makes Hyper more powerful and does more of what you want it to. So first and foremost, if you're on a Mac, just head over to hyper.is and click on Download Hyper for macOS. And once you've downloaded it, it's just a matter of double-clicking to unzip it. And now you have downloaded and installed the Hyper application. And all you have to do is just to move that again into your Applications folder. Now on Windows, it's a little bit more involved, but all you need to do is again, go to hyper.is and then click Download Hyper for Windows. If the website doesn't automatically detect which platform you're using, then just click on Other Platforms and select the windows.exe. And once you've downloaded that, you should have something called hypersetup.exe, so just double click on it to run the setup instructions. And once it's done, it should show you this Hyper terminal and you can see it right here. Now, there's a few other things we have to do before you're ready to go. We're going to install something called Git, which we're going to learn about a little bit later on. But we're going to install it now because it comes with something called Git Bash, which is a way for us to be able to use Bash to be able to interact with the command line. If you head over to git-scm.com, and by the way, all of the links that I'm mentioning are available, of course, again, on the course resources list, including where to download Git, as well as what we're going to show right now. So git-scm.com, you're going to head over to Downloads, and then you're going to click on Windows to download it for your system. And it should automatically pick the version that you need. So once that's downloaded, then simply just double click on the exe file and go through the installation wizard, making sure that you have Git Bash checked as something that you're going to install. So we're going to keep all of the default options, and then we're simply going to keep clicking next until you get to a screen which allows you to install, and that will automatically install Git Bash onto your system. Now, once that's done, I recommend restarting your computer, and then we're going to configure Hyper to use Git Bash. And again, in that list of links, there's a link that links to the Hyper configurations, which is this page right here. And I want you to simply copy all of this, and we're going to go into Hyper, and you're going to click on this little button here, and you're going to go into Edit and Preferences. And it's going to open up your configurations. So here, I want you to delete everything that's currently in there and paste what you just copied over. And now, if you just go ahead and click Save and close it down, then Hyper will update its configuration. You should now close down Hyper and then reopen it again from the start menu in order for those configurations to go through. And the very last thing to do is to check and make sure that the installation has been successful. So if you open up a Hyper window and you type echo space $, and then shell in all caps and hit enter, you should see /bin/bash. If that is the case, then congratulations, you're successful and you can continue on with the module. If you don't, then be sure to review the previous steps we've gone through, and it's especially important that you've installed Git Bash and you've updated the configuration file as shown in the video.